Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Angela. And I was just sitting around. Today is Thanksgiving in the US. It is November 2024. And I was just sitting here going, I would like to do a video, but I don't know what to do. And then I thought, oh, I can do my card of the month for November, since we are only 2 days away from the end of the month. The last of the month, and then it's December. Chaos has already begun here. People are already Christmas shopping and being crazy outside, and it's just, no matter where you go, it's wall to wall people. And I'm just like, I'd rather skip it. So, I haven't been anywhere today other than my mother-in-law's to have Thanksgiving dinner. We had it early today. And then we pretty much had the rest of the day to ourselves to sit here and be in pain because we ate too much turkey. Anyway, I was going to go ahead and show you guys because I have a deck coming in tomorrow and I have a video I'm going to do, but I'm waiting for that deck to come in. So the next couple of days I have videos planned. So I thought I'll get this one out of the way. And it is the card of the month for November. And if you've been watching my channel for any length of time, you should know by now that every year I do a year ahead spread in January, either the first day of January or the last day of December of the previous year for the year ahead. Every year it's a little variation different on how I work it. This year I decided to pull a card from a specific deck. It is the Spirit Songs Hero because I haven't really used it, and I thought this would be a great way to connect with it by Paulina Cassidy. And I have connected with this deck quite a bit. I love it to pieces. But I also picked it because it has keywords on it. And then you know what, didn't pull out a Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune is my card of the year, and I have been pulling a card from the Wheel of, like, a Wheel of Fortune from a certain deck I like, all year long to kind of remember throughout the month that the Wheel of Fortune is my card of the year. I totally forgot to pull one out. Let's see what we can pull out. My cat just popped up here. Hold on a sec. Okay, I pulled a card for the Wheel of Fortune to show you guys. Along with my, and it's just because it happened to be the closest deck sitting here, because it's the deck I'm using, because I just got it. It's from the When Women Had Wings. I am loving this deck. Hardcore. I mean, look at it. Gorgeous. But I pulled the Wheel of Fortune from that card. It almost looks like there's a kitty paw inside the wheel. But then there looks like there's some kind of Hebrew or something like that. Arabic or something like that in the wording in there. I just thought, I again pulled the Wheel of Fortune from here because it's the closest deck I had to me. But the Wheel of Fortune is my card of the year. And then I pull a card for every month, and I kind of don't tend to like looking at it throughout the month, whatever card it is for the month, because then I feel like it hinders me. Whereas if I just pull it later, I'm like, ooh, yeah, that explains why this and this and this happened, or this and this and this didn't happen. So, without further ramble, the card of the month was, and again, I pulled this from the Spirit Song Tarot at the beginning of the year by US Games. This is also a US Games deck. It is the Temperance card. And I love this deck because it has keywords on the minors. Look at the little zebra and all the colors. Just the colors are gorgeous in this. So the Temperance card is about balance and harmony. And I am following Lisa Pepez, Unlocking the Tarot book. Board is by Barbara Moore. I'm quite a bit away through it. Halfway through it. But I did want to read Temperance in here, because I've always thought of temperance as balance. Either you need to get some, or, and I've always seen it as you need to get balanced, or uh, I can see it as you need to either get balanced or you are balanced. But I've never seen, when I've done a reading for myself, I've never seen it say you have balance, because I'm always off kilter. And so, I'm trying to find it in the book. Justice. I wanted to read what it said in here because I love this book. Temperance. She has moderate, and I chose the word balance. She says, my keyword for this card is moderate. As an adjective, something that is moderate is something or someone that avoids extremes. And that is me, but in the negative way. I don't take chances. As a verb, to moderate is to lessen the intensity of something or to bring it away from extremes. Temperance is one of those cards that always felt unreachable and confusing to me. I see this image of an angel with 2 cups and throw my hands up in frustration. It didn't make any sense until it did. The figure representing temperance on the card isn't the point. The point is that temperance exists outside of any one extreme. Temperance doesn't choose sides. Temperance blends the sides. Visually, the angel in Temperance has one foot in the water and the other inland, and I have an RWS version right here of this card. Did I not? What did I do with it? Oh. So it's showing you what she's meaning in those cards. Visually, the angel in Temperance has one foot in the water and the other on land, effectively avoiding picking sides. Also notice that it's either dusk or dawn, neither day nor night. Yet again, it represents the in-between place that Temperance occupies. Then there are those dang cups. I finally understood when I encountered some trivia about how the ancient Greeks used to water down their wine, tempering its strength. Suddenly I understood what could be going on with these 2 cups. The idea of blending to bring something away from its most potent strength and into something more moderate made sense to me. Temperance is about walking the middle path. It's about the path of moderation versus the path of extremes. Temperance advises us to look at how we can move away from too much and not enough to the beautiful and balanced place in between. It all made sense once I started thinking of temperance as the Goldilocks principle of the tarot. The cups are also associated with alchemy, mixing and blending different ingredients to create a final product that is more than the sum of its parts. And I freaking love that. As a blessing, temperance can show you the way through a difficult situation by inviting you to look for the middle path. It invites a measured approach that considers all extremes but doesn't swing wildly between them. This card offers a respite from the back and forth and invites blending, not rejecting opposing viewpoints. As an obstacle, and if you notice I have this highlighted, as an obstacle, temperance highlights the fact that your behaviors, beliefs, actions, or attitudes are imbalanced. It's important to find the moderate point between extremes so that you can balance your approach going forward. And then it says, I love that word. Moderate can be used as an adjective or verb without changing anything about its construction, even though you pronounce it differently. Taking a moderate approach versus moderating your behavior. Again, you pronounce it differently. Taking a moderate approach versus moderating your behavior. I love it also because it suggests the idea that we are pulling back from an extreme. There's a gentleness to it that encompasses the energy of temperance. And then she asks, consider what word would work for you. But I freaking love that. And I'm loving the book. And there's so much highlighted throughout. I'm like, oh, I'm only going to highlight this one thing. And then the whole page is... I'm loving it. She did really well on this book. I'm so in awe of her. It's just crazy. But what I went through in the month of November, really was just, I didn't even look at the card at all. And I did have a really balanced month. Like, okay, for example, I always would get mad. I would always get mad at my job because I was the only person shipping. And everyone I worked with was from a different lab that never actually shipped before. So they did not understand. I need a cutoff time in order to get the work that I've already done out the door for the day, because I have to have all this amount by this amount of time out for UPS to be able to pick it up. I then got once we expanded, because we've been expanding the last few months, I now have a partner in crime in there. But over the last, I would say, 2 weeks. So anyway, I got a new partner in crime in the lab. And the last 2 to 3 weeks, we have gotten even bigger because they're slowly, in chunks, bringing work to us from another location that's shutting down. And we will be completely changed over by April. But over the last 2 to 3 weeks, we got another huge clump. And I was starting to feel the anxiety again like I had when I was alone. And even my partner in crime was like, are they planning on hiring anybody else for in here? Because if they're talking as many more lenses as we're getting, we're going to need more people than us too. I said, I agree. And just as I was starting to get frustrated, because I'm like, we're back in the hole again. Nobody's paying attention. Nobody's listening when we're telling them we're going to need help. All of a sudden, the help appeared, and it was there. They didn't hire anybody new, but the old people that were helping me before are now back in there helping at the end of the day to get everything done and get it all out. And we're getting it done, getting it out. But if we get any more work at this point, we're going to need a third person in there helping us. That was what I was trying to say. But I've just felt every time I would start to feel like I was getting frustrated, something would happen that would temper that and balance everything out. And I noticed that throughout the month, not realizing that the temperance card was my card of the month, because I just now tonight looked at I'm like, oh, the temperance card. No wonder I had this, and it's funny because I'm always saying that every time I pull a temperance card, it's a card of, I need to get balanced. And it felt like I was already in that mode, the moderate mode Lisa was talking about, that in-between moment for the whole month of November, which I thought was interesting. Hold on a second. So I just thought that was interesting. And I'm like, oh, for once, I was in a balanced temperance mode for the whole month. Now, I got a little nervous because next month it shows a very bad card. That's my card of the month. And I'm like, oh, I'm not going to forget that that's the card of the month because it's one of two in the entire tarot deck that is bad. So we'll see what happens there. And it kind of freaks me out because in December last year is when I had my heart attack and I had to go in the hospital and all this stuff happened. And of course, more bills piled up and all this stuff. So we'll see what happens next month. But I did want to show you guys a few temperance cards that I really love. This one is actually from, I didn't even realize how much I love this card until I got the mini of the Tarot of Mystical Moments right here. And then I'm like, ooh, I love that temperance card. So I grabbed the big one so you guys could see it better. Look at that. Just beautiful. And there, she looks like she's in her party dress, but she's meditating. And she's got this peacefulness going on that you would think of when you think of balance and temperance. The first card that ever made me realize the balance was my word for temperance was the Light Seers. And it looks like he's got the sun and moon, day and night, light and dark, night and shadow, whatever, or day and shadow. There is a balance there. It clearly says balance in the sun and moon here. And then he's trying to do something to create a third thing with that. Which is why I get that it's alchemy in the word, but I don't ever see alchemy as this word. I do have a couple decks, I think, as alchemy is in the temperance card, and then alchemy in the magician. So, on some level, on that level, these two the magician and temperance could be interchangeable, because it looks like they're trying to create something, a third thing, which is how I see the magician anyway. But this is balance, holding that space, that space in between. And it's funny because until I considered myself a medium, when I realized, yes, you are a medium, I had a dream that I was in an airport. I was watching the arrivals and departure board, and it was arrivals, somebody being born, and departures, someone in passing. And I was the in-between, the meeting place of those things. And I was like, I'm the airport. And that's exactly how I feel with temperance. And after reading her Unlocking the Tarot, it solidifies that more for me, that I'm that in between. It doesn't have to be a balance. It could be just you're that holding that space for the dead and the living alike to meet up and speak through you. And I just think that's beautiful as well. But that's the first card ever that I was like, this means balance. And then we have the new Lumina Tarot that came out mass market in October. And again, with the, it's beautiful. I like the colors here. We got the Tarot Landscapes, which I cannot put down. The cardstock sucks, but it's a stunning cards. And I like the, it looks like we got the dog. Oh no, that's a lamb here, isn't it? Yeah. A lamb and a wolf, and they're drinking peacefully from the same exact brook. Wow. And then the trees all look like they're leaning to shade them. Interesting. And then we got the Slow Tarot. I just think he's pretty cool. Little waiter, pouring the water out into the cup. That's pretty neat. And then my favorite temperance card ever, the first one I thought of when I saw this temperance card, was my card of the month. This is from the Elemental Wisdom Tarot. This is a indie deck. This is a Slow Tarot and indie deck. This is mass market. I don't know. It's AGM or something like that. This is mass market. It's Blue Angel, I want to say. Rock Pool. And then, of course, Light Sears. That's the Hay House version. But this is my favorite temperance card ever. First of all, it's gorgeous. And we got spring over here. And day. It's all spring, but we got the day here and then the night here. With all these blooming little fireflies, or maybe blooming flowers that bloom at night. And then we got the butterflies here in the daytime. I just think that's the most beautiful temperance card ever. And I know I have a few others kind of like this card, but I could not tell you. I have so many freaking decks now. I can't tell you which ones they are. It's ridiculous, but I would not trade any of them. They're all beautiful, and I love them all equally. So, well, not equally. Have a few favorites, but that is my card of the month. I know I feel like I rambled on and on. If you guys understood any of the ramble, let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification button so you're alerted to any future videos. And I'll see you next month for my card of the month of December. You guys have a good night.